none of it. All gone.
Oh, hey everybody, all right. Tavern Talk 716. We are here again, back at John and Mary's in Alden, New York on Broadway. I am international best-selling children's author Keith White Jr. And this week, to my left is...
I am Lawrence Gomez, a.k.a. Duran, a.k.a. Salvatore, Morocco, a.k.a. most definitely going to fire Ron again today.
Most definitely going to fire Ron again. And how do you fire somebody who is already fired?
Refuses to be fired?
You fire him and he's just like, nah.
You just keep firing him and then eventually it'll sink us.
You go, hey Ron, you're fired. And he goes, hey guys, I got you a show in John and Mary's in Alden, New York, where everybody knows Duran.
He works harder because I fire him.
The weird thing is, we were only going to do one show here until everybody who walked through the door knew Duran. All of a sudden, we're back.
Yes, and all of a sudden, Alden is our new hub.
And last week, I don't know if you saw last week's show.
I didn't.
Which we were not on.
Right. Well, yeah, you said...
We recorded a show.
Yeah.
We recorded a show, but I don't know where it is. It's just in there because last week what aired in our place was an episode of Tavern Talk hosted by Ranting Ron himself.
Wait, what?
Yeah, last week the show we recorded seems to have just vanished.
That was a great show.
It was probably the best show we've ever recorded.
It felt that way.
That was the episode where halfway through President Trump came out, sat with us for like 20 minutes. Everything he said was in like perfect English. He didn't stutter any words. He gave an address to the nation.
Respectful to women.
Right. He said only nice things about women. He said only nice things about anyone that isn't him. It was like you would if you heard him speak.
It was Trump.
Right. And now it seems to be disappeared. No one will ever know he said these nice things.
Oh my goodness.
And instead, what aired was Ranting Ron hosting a show, and he went at like 20 miles an hour the way he was talking. About 10 minutes in, he was completely out of material. I think this goes back to a few months ago when he paid for that advertisement during our show where he said he was going to replace us. I think that's what he was trying to do.
To fruition?
Right. He decided to replace us with himself. So I would like you to speak to the camera. You talk directly to Ranting Ron.
Ron, how dare you deprive this audience of actual, substantial, entertaining products by
and
putting
this
your
show.
own ugly mug on our screen. It's offensive, it's uncalled for, and unfortunately, you're fired.
Again. Fired again. And he was also here with Robbie from Let's Talk 716 Sports.
Yeah, huge fan of Robbie.
Right? Yeah, his show was great. We were happy to have him on. He could come on anytime.
Robbie's welcome on our show any day. Every day of the week.
He's on every day of the week and twice on Sunday he's welcome to come on. Ron, however, is trying to replace us, and I don't like it one bit. So, Robbie, hey, buddy, you're welcome. Ron, so that's all I'm saying. He also had some other people. Oh, hey!
Robbie's in the building!
Robbie, come on, here, buddy. How are you?
Surprise, welcome!
Oh, he's back again.
My goodness, Robbie.
Robbie probably thought Ranting Ron was trying to steal the show again this week.
Were you going to kind of give him 1-4?
You were coming in to tell him what's what.
Good. Robbie's got our back just like we got Robbie's
Thanks,
back.
buddy. It was good seeing you. Thanks for coming out. We appreciate the support. Not like ranting, rancid, Ron. I know you like when I do that. Thanks for coming out, Robbie. You're more than welcome to hang out here for as long as you like. You can stay for the show.
Do you want to have a seat?
You don't have to.
You don't have to. You're welcome.
We're not doing anything here, Ron.
You don't like them.
Railroading our show again.
Railroading, rancid, Ranting Ron.
That's the 5 hours of don't do that.
Well, it was good to see Robbie, though. I enjoyed having him on this show.
He's a pleasant individual.
He is a very pleasant
really
young man. So thanks for coming on the show. So last week people didn't get to see the show. 2 weeks ago we were here at John and Mary's in Alden on Broadway, where we are again this week because Duran insisted. He said he'd only do the show if we were here again because everybody in the world of Alden came in and said, "Hey, Duran."
Well, you know,
hey, Duran. Even a guy came in that was a guy came in that wrestled you in Newfoundland 20 years ago.
It was what a moment! What a moment! I did no idea that guy was in Alden in this stage of his life, let alone at John and Mary's on the same night as us. It was spectacular to see that person, and we did a little segment afterwards, which we got into.
I was going to say that if you're okay with it, I know that the two of you sat down for a few minutes and discussed some things. I was actually going to say that we could cut to that footage from a couple of weeks ago.
Absolutely, I fully encourage that. I'm still a flutter.
Your heart is a flutter.
I'm still a buzzer.
Your heart is a flutter at the thoughts of your grueling Iron Man match with what was the gentleman's name?
Ron the Destroyer.
Ron the Destroyer, one of Newfoundland's biggest stars from the 80s. So we're going to cut to that now. We'll be back in just a few minutes, and check it out.
Enjoy.
Yeah, so howdy, welcome to, apparently this is the Salvatore Morocco Wrestle Talk Show, and joined by me today is Ron, wrestling connoisseur.
Yes, and it's been a long time, but I can't say enough for this guy. It's been unbelievable.
Well, I can't overstate how influential that match we had in Newfoundland was on my career going forward. I don't think this is recording, right? So we got to use the regular mic. So, So for me, I feel like that finish that we had, where you came off the top rope with the giant elbow, boom, and I kicked out on two, and then you gave me another standing dropping elbow right away, and then you got the pin. I feel like that was the best moment of that match. What do you take away as your favorite moment?
Meeting you. It was really, I fought a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you were the best.
See,
you were the best. And I'm so glad that years later, you're still at it. You're still the same person.
And I want the honor is on this side of the table. You beat wrestling. You catapulted my career like 5 years in one night. It was just amazing what happened for my career in that match. 2.5 hours our match was, ladies and gentlemen.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours. We went into triple overtime. What a match that was. Back when you could go. You could really go then.
Yeah. Well, I had my red hair then.
Yeah, well, that's the fire comes from the hair.
Yes. Okay.
We're good. Thank you so much. This has been Ron. Thank you for joining Salvatore Morocco's Wrestle Talk Show, and tune in next week.
Did you ever hear of the Destroyer?
The Destroyer is from Buffalo. I met the Destroyer. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just passed away, yeah.
He's got a little golf course in Akron.
I played there.
Did you?
Yeah, the big balls like this.
Japanese golf?
Yeah, he's the only one in America. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him. We had a Legends show at Riverworks in downtown Buffalo, and he was there. And I actually, I had a legendary moment where one of the Nasty Boys broke one of the heavy-duty Riverworks folding chairs over my head, and it went down in infamy more or less as a legendary Western New York wrestling moment. So that was both the worst and one of the best times that I had for wrestling.
Wow. That's a good, and he was a good man. He really was.
The Destroyer, absolutely, yeah. He was such
Yes.
He was such a kind dude, and I only met him the one time, but man, it was just like he was so gentle and
All
soft
force is still out there in
soft spoken.
Yes.
It was
The
very
balls are big,
impressive.
they open the air all the
Yeah.
nighttime you go midnight bowling, the balls light up and the holes have light coming out.
And he was a swimming coach.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, besides wrestler, he was a swimming coach. Okay, boys.
Thank you so much for joining.
Pleasure meeting you.
It's been an honor.
Again.
And we're back. What's something over there? We were watching you and Ron the Destroyer there for a minute.
I was
you were off.
reminiscing of that grueling 2.5 hour grudge match.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. All right, all
What I
right. So
can remember-
other people are leaving Duran. Everyone knows Duran. You got more people waving at you. The best part is you just had 2 people waving you. You ignored them. You have become such a big superstar.
In 2 weeks, I went from super gracious to not even caring.
To not even care. You were like 2 weeks ago. It was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Sit down with me. Let's have a conversation. This week, you're like, I'm not paying attention to those people.
There's people.
Yeah, exactly. So we are here at John and Mary's, Alden, New York. Once again, we really appreciate them having us here. I actually, before we went on the air today, I ordered myself a gluten-free chicken and broccoli pizza. Okay. So that when we're all done filming, that will be mine to consume. I won't do that on the air because nobody wants to watch me do that.
I was excited to come back because last time we were on, I was served a slice of pepperoni, and it looked glamorous, but I don't eat any meat, so the pepperoni was, I don't want to say offensive, but I wasn't.
It wasn't something you could eat, yeah.
So I was excited to come back and actually try something.
Right. Well, that's after we saw those pizzas a couple weeks ago. That it looked delicious, and I could have probably eaten the pepperoni and the cheese right off of the slice and not eaten the dough. But I try not to do that because of cross-contamination and such. So I did stay away from it. But this week,
that's a big deal. Like I can eat meat and I just get sick. Well, I mean, not even to your level.
Right.
I just get like a little.
You get a little bellyache.
Yeah.
You
would almost die.
Right. I don't want to do that.
Right.
Yeah. I'm going to pass.
Definitely a no-no. I'm
going to pass on almost dying. I'm going to pass. So don't worry out there, internet. I'm still here for a long time to come. So what's going on with you then? What's new?
I feel like I always go to the rock opera because that's my main focus.
Tell me more. You see, that's your main focus, and I will say that has become your main focus because anytime I call you or say, hey, let's film some more shows, and you're just like, can't rock opera. Hey, let's do whatever. Can't rock opera. Hey, can't rock opera. And I'll be like, hey, let's work on your rock opera. Can't rock opera. You're not even listening to what I'm saying to you.
Can't rock opera.
Can't rock opera. So you could tell me more. Go ahead.
All right. So at the stage we're at right now, we're just tightening up a small group of songs. It's 6 songs. So we're really trying to make perfect before we move on and tackle another batch of songs. And by we, I mean the lineup that I've made, because even though it is a rock opera and it will eventually see the stage as a play musical, currently we're tackling it more like a band, and I've acquired my brother Duran Gomez on bass, my good friends Erickson Murray on keyboard, and Glenn, his last name is escaping me, on drums. That's his last name.
That's how good of a friend he is of yours.
That's his last
You're
name.
like, I've got a really good friend, Glenn, something. His last name's something. I've come to that point where I don't even care about my friends' names anymore. I'm such a big star. I don't care about my fans walking through. I don't care what my friends' names are. My brother, I don't know, Pete or something. I don't know his name anymore. He's in the band, kind of a big deal. Like, what? So, what you were talking about how you're tackling it as a band. So then how are you tackling the story? Because I had heard some of the story way back when you first started. You had given me kind of a synopsis. How are you tackling the story if right now you're only tackling it like a band?
Well, the story unfolds as I have a general idea of the whole entire outline. So as the songs are written, the story unfolds in the song, because each song I have.
So is there spoken dialogue, or is it all in song?
It's all in song.
So the story is written and set in stone then?
The story has evolved as the music has evolved.
Okay.
So I have a general idea of the path, and I know the end. So the songs are kind of filling in that path as it goes along.
Okay. I was just curious. I know I had heard the synopsis back at the beginning, and I had given you some notes on it that you just threw right out the window.
Well, actually, I digested and I sat on those notes for a while.
So you hated them so much you sat on them.
And yes,
you're like, these ideas are so bad they have to be closer to my butt.
They actually pushed me and it broke through to a very grandiose new finish that you didn't know about.
Oh, so what you're saying is your story wouldn't be as good as it is without me.
Correct.
That's what I like to hear.
It did not have it did not have as epic of a conclusion prior to our discussion. And then based off what you told me, I took a step back. I really marinated on the ideas, and it pushed me through to an even better conclusion.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I mean, that's why I bring you in on these things, because I appreciate your input.
I'm a collaborator.
I greatly appreciate your
collaborator, calibrator, I like to work with people.
Contaminator.
Oh, yeah, that could be said too. If you watch the show every week on YouTube, you know I am a contaminator.
So to wrap this little segment up about the rock opera
topic,
we are tackling it as a band because it's the best route for me to go in right now. Because I don't know.
I'm not much of a music guy,
long it'll
so
be
I apologize.
before it hits
I apologize
the
if my
stage.
questions don't. You know, I'm not a music
They don't
guy.
jive.
I'm more of a story guy. That's why I asked about the story, because I could dive into your story and I could tear it apart and dissect it and help you really flesh it out. But music-wise, I wouldn't. That's not. I don't know.
Sure.
So now, working on the story with the band. Are they just following your lead? Are they contributing? Or is it just like, this is what we're doing, guys, and they just are like, okay, cool, and they do it? Or are you like, what do you think of this? And then you do it, and they're like, what if you did this? Or is this like the Duran show starring Duran, featuring other people, maybe named Glenn?
It is an open forum within the band for discussion and pitching of ideas and musical ideas and story ideas. But I do have a grand vision at the end of the day. So if ideas don't really fit well, or they're not what I'm going for, then as the creator and I am more, for all intents and purposes, writing it, I have shot down. But I've also accepted influence, like from you, for example.
Right.
So.
Well, I hope you used all the ideas I gave you, because they were gold. I was, a few weeks ago, we had mentioned a few weeks ago on the show, I went to Erie, PA to go to a movie theater, because we don't have those here yet. Here in Alden, New York, we do have John and Mary's, and their food is delicious. I had mentioned in the car ride, this is what made me think of this, is that we were discussing your rock opera. I won't go into any details story-wise or anything. I'm not giving anything away. I know you don't. I know you try to be general so that people don't hear the ideas yet as they have not been presented. That's fine. So we were discussing the initial pitch that you did when you had a bunch of people over and you did the pitch. We were discussing that and how you went over your story.
Yes.
And then how you said, I got you all here so I can hear your ideas on it and stuff. And then so I took that real seriously, and I brought a little notebook and I wrote down all the things you said. I wrote down my thoughts, and I kind of let it sit and like fester in my brain. I made some notes, and then I presented those to you, and I was like, well, what if you did this, or what if you did that, or what if this didn't happen? And pretty much your answer was, no, it's already kind of set, so I can't really do anything with that. And we were talking about that, and so then the people in the car with me were like, well, what were some of your ideas? So I was kind of running the ideas I had then with them, and they were like, oh, that sounds really good. And I was like, too bad he's not using them. So I'm glad to see that you use something. That something that I said to you resonated to help you create better art.
Yes.
Now, I'm not saying you used my idea. I'm saying my ideas helped you to create better art, which I'm glad, because my ideas that I had were great. So, but I was presenting some of those ideas, and everybody's like, oh, wow, he should do that. And I was like, wow, don't tell him that, because he ain't going to do it.
Well, my whole take on this is I have an idea, and it has momentum. And
well, I didn't really change your idea. I didn't really change your idea.
And I don't want to deter too much from what's keeping me going.
Well, the ideas that I presented to the people in the automobile, again, I don't want to use people's names who don't want their names used. So the ideas I presented to the people in the automobile were not ideas that changed your story, per se. but they were some of the ideas about the characters that I had said. Things that you could change without really changing the story or the music thing, but you still kind of poo-pooed them and didn't like them. Which is fine, it's yours. That's like my books. If someone gives me an idea, I may use it, I may not. I've actually used a few people's ideas and changed things in my books for later revisions. And I'm not saying you have to use my ideas, because at the end of the day, it is your show, it is your vision, it is your passion. But everyone agreed my ideas were great.
And I have never hated any of your ideas. There's a difference between
who else I
hating
remember?
some of your
You know
ideas
who else I remember
and
really-
feeling that they really.
You know who
fit
else
in what I'm
really
trying to accomplish.
liked my ideas and told you should use them? Wow, it was Deb. Remember that? She was like, those are really good ideas, Duran, you should use them. And then you were like, shut up. This is my passion. You don't talk about it. And then after I gave you those ideas, which I'm glad helped, you've asked me to help you 0 more times since then.
I am bringing you back in currently.
You didn't even have me direct your documentary.
It's in progress. We're currently working on it.
It's in progress.
I couldn't decide which word I wanted to use, process or progress. They both fit. It's stupid. Why have 2 words?
Right, you just combine them into progress.
No, we are currently working on that, and you are coming in.
I'm just
This guy
teasing.
just likes to attack me
I
for
just
no
like.
reason.
I just think it's no. There's reason. Fun for the show. The reason is the show. We're making art ourselves right now. We together
and I
are
show
working
up every week because I enjoy doing it.
Right. So then why are you complaining here at John and Mary's in Alden, New York, where they have both amazing food and fans of Duran in the building? So
Not
you
at
come
home,
down here if you want
unfortunately.
to meet people who love Duran and you want to get some good food. This is your place. So yeah, no, I do want to get re-involved in the show.
Good.
I am interested. I'm
You're
glad to
still
hear.
You're still my go-to guy to direct it. So,
Well, not the documentary though.
well, I was doing the directing, but I absolutely.
I feel like when it comes time for the actual show, even if my name is attached to the director, you're still going to be the guy doing the directing. I feel like I'm going to be like, oh, I want to do this right here, and you're just going to be like, that's not what I was thinking.
Well, I am going to.
You know what I'll tell you is
Be involved in the musical aspect,
Right.
so I'm going to need help.
What I
with
was
the
going to say is
performance end.
Hamilton. We talked about Hamilton a couple weeks ago, which you've seen
Yes,
and I've seen many times.
correct.
Lin-Manuel Miranda did not direct the stage production
Well, it's
of
hard
Hamilton.
to direct and perform in, which is what I'm thinking.
Not
is
only-
going to happen with me.
Did he not direct it? He did not in any way interfere in the directorial process. And there are things about it, if you watch documentaries and stuff, there are things that he doesn't even know about with the choreography and the direction, the things that he learns from other people. And he's like, I didn't even realize that. Like during in the opening parts of it, Hamilton walks circular and Aaron Burr walks in straight lines. And that's to represent their characters. He didn't even know that. That he was just doing what they
Right,
had.
what he was told.
Right, so
But
just
it's-
I want
but
you to
it
remember
serves
that.
a purpose.
I want you to remember that when your show comes to the stage. Leave me alone. And then we'll get along great.
I think we can work that out in the contract.
We're also going to film it,
Oh,
but
100%.
not for an episode of Tavern Talk 716.
No,
we
no.
will debut a trailer here, though.
Absolutely.
That's if the show even still exists in that time frame.
I don't see why it would go anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So.
This doesn't really cut too much
Oh,
into our time.
My pizza is done. Thank you. No, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, my food is done, so I will. This might be an early episode. I don't know.
Finishing
We'll,
up the rock opera topic.
Oh,
Currently,
we're getting close to the end anyway. That's all right.
currently, this Saturday we're going to do a super secret reveal.
So secret,
Show.
you just told the whole world.
This won't even air till after it.
You're always breaking the illusion. Duran breaks the illusion every week. Next. Whoa! Hey!
Later, Ron.
Ron the Destroyer is here
It
again.
was a pleasure seeing you again.
All right.
You
There you
as
go.
well.
Ron the Destroyer. So Ron the Destroyer also just broke the fourth wall here and broke the illusion. You see,
Fifth wall.
I was going to say is that you break the illusion as you do from week to week. You go, well, that's, we filmed this weeks ago. You'll say that all the time when I try to keep it like it's current. Also, I thought you were going to say something about the fact that it's 2 weeks later and we're wearing the exact same clothes. All we did was switch seats.
I wear the same clothes all the time.
Well, we're not in the bunker anymore.
I wear the same clothes all the time.
We're not in the bunker anymore.
Again, I say I wear the same
I thought you were just going to
clothes
say
all
it
the
exactly
time.
the same. I was just waiting for you to say it exactly the same way. So the rock opera then is coming along well. Saturday is your super secret. No one can know about it. Reveal
Invite
party.
only.
So who's
Special
invited?
Invite only. It's just like 5 people.
Everybody. I thought you were going to say everyone. Who's secret invites? Only the people get invitations. Who got an invitation? Everybody.
We can't mention people's names because we don't know if they want them mentioned.
Well, I
on the
agree
show.
with that. That's why you said Glenn. What's his name?
Precisely.
I say, I don't want to mention people's names in case they don't want to be mentioned on the show. And then you're like, my brother, and then Glenn something or other. You're just throwing names out there all day long.
Keith White Jr.
I don't know what you just said.
I said Keith White Jr.
Oh, yeah, international best-selling children's author, Keith White Jr. You can find me on Twitter at Keith White Jr. It'll be down here, and yours
And
is?
I am Lawrence Duran Gomez at Salvatore Morocco with no O at the end.
Salvatore Morocco.
And that's Morocco spelled almost like the country.
Almost, but without an O.
Without an O at the end. That's
Right. So, and I would say they're starting to clean the doors and the windows in here, so we're probably getting close to the end of the show. But another very good episode, I would say,
I had
as
a
they
lot of
all
fun.
are. This episode was mostly about your rock opera, though.
I'm excited.
This was almost completely dedicated to your rock
Entirely
opera.
about my rock opera, and absolutely not about my rock opera.
It was
at the
completely
same
about
time.
your rock opera, and anybody watching this learned nothing about your
Learned
rock
nothing
opera
about
because
it.
you don't want to give any
I
details away.
can't give anything away.
The only thing they learned was you shit all over my ideas. Oh, I cursed.
And I haven't.
Yeah. So we're gonna beep my curse out. Your curses stay, mine get beeped out.
That's awesome.
So they learned that I gave you lots of awesome ideas, and you sat on them so they could be closer to your butt because that's how bad you thought they were. And then
I
you
don't
let them
think they were
marinate,
bad. They
which
just
I
went
guess
against
means
all
you
of my
had
ideas. That
sweaty,
was the
sweaty
problem.
butt. You didn't go against your. We're going to talk more about this when we get off the air.
All right.
Either way, this has been Tavern Talk 716. We are at John and Mary's in Alden, New York on Broadway. Come on out for some awesome food. Mine's sitting on the counter right over there, so I'm going to eat it as soon as we're done here. Again, I'm international, best-selling children's author Keith White Jr., and to my left,
And much like I did 30 seconds ago, I am Lawrence Gomez, a.k.a. Duran, a.k.a. Marco, a.k.a. going home and going to sleep.
it's like 6:30 at night.
It's 8:45.
Yeah, I know, it's dark out. It can't be 6:30. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Either way, thanks for joining us, and we'll catch you down the road and maybe back in the bunker at some point. I guess it depends on how COVID goes.
Besides, it takes an hour to get out here anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
It's gonna
Yeah,
definitely be about
like
time I
midnight
get
by the
home.
time you get home. It's like going to your PA.
Thank you for joining us.